Fast as lightning, sharp as a sword. Greetings, YouTube. I'm Lightning Sword, and I'm salty as shit. Know why? Because we ended Season 6 Part 1 with excellent episodes like Spice Up Your Life and Flutter Brudder. And we started Part 2 with, for once, a decent Rainbow Dash episode, Stranger Than Fanfiction. So why am I salty? The cart before the ponies, that's why. Let's just get this over with. We start with a typical day in class with the world's most worthless teacher, Ms. Cheerilee. The class is informed that the Applewood Derby, a go-kart race, begins tomorrow, and the class is ecstatic.
Oh, phew. For a second, I thought we were gonna have to, learn stuff.
And snips and snails continue to make me ashamed to be male. Anyway, an innocent enough beginning, right? Well, not to ride on the coattails of the go-kart theme, but it's all downhill from there. And now it's Snips' turn to give every living being with a penis a bad name.
You've got a lot of work to do before you're ready to race.
Yeah, but not schoolwork, right?
Anyway, Cheerilee explains what the kids need to do tomorrow. Turn a block of wood into a cart. Simple enough. Except for the 3 dumbest kids of all time. But they're allowed 1 adult pony to help them build it, and judging from the looks on their faces, they've already made their selections. Take a wild guess who they picked. Go on, guess! And there are 3 available awards for the racers. First place, most traditional design, and most creative design. Now with 95% of the plot spelled out for us, the kids go home discussing their plans on the way. Sweetie Belle wants to win the traditional ribbon, Apple Bloom wants to score first place, and Scootaloo wants to design the most creative cart. Wait, so the Crusaders have character? Like, wants and needs and goals and desires that aren't defined by their already existing characteristics?
Incredible.
By the way, I'm not doing a Mario Kart reference. Literally everyone has already. Forget it. Of course, when the kids ask their pre-chosen adult assistants, things don't go the way they planned. Creativity-seeking Scootaloo seeks help from speed freak Rainbow Dash, who's so self-centered and overly competitive that it's no surprise that all she'd want is something different from Scootaloo to win first place. Of course, if there's one minuscule thing I could ever credit Dash for, it's that she always seems to be on her best behavior around Scootaloo, which makes her behavior in this episode only the tip of the garbage mountain.
With Dash on my team, how could anything go wrong?
I don't even have time to answer that question. Meanwhile, Apple Bloom's dreams of winning first place are crushed by Applejack's back in my day bullshit. I know AJ's a stubborn traditionalist, but this is a little much even for her. And now Sweetie Belle wants to ask her overly creative sister to make her a more traditional cart. But Rarity's a generous soul and is more than willing to help her sister with something like...
Soon the prize for most creative will finally be in my hooves! You mean my hooves?
Yes, that's what I said. My hooves.
What? Rarity too? Rainbow Dash I can understand. Applejack I can kind of understand, but Rarity? Rarity doesn't even like sporting events. Why the hell does she want to compete in one now?
When I was just a filly, and I was positive I was going to win the prize for most creative hooves down. But I came in second. Second! You? Second for most creative? To whom?
Wow. Just... wow. Rarity is the last pony I expected to hold on to old grudges. Well, next to Twilight, of course. Well, the next day, the girls and their partners are up at the crack of dawn.
Rarity, the sun's not even up yet.
Oh, Apples, quit complaining. In my day, we were up even earlier.
You're old, we get it. And another attempt to shake them out of their selfish reverie ends in failure.
Hey, I get up in the middle of the night if it means my cart crosses that finish line first and wins fastest. And my cart wins most creative.
And my cart wins most traditional. Hoo-wee! It's gonna be a good day.
You mean our carts, right? Yes, that's what we said, darling.
Yup.
Our carts.
This is important for later. Trust me. And no, I'm still not doing a Mario Kart reference. Get over it. Even as they're building, pleas to change their plans fall on deaf ears.
About thinking of going for the most creative prize. I mean, I know all about speed already, so...
Exactly! It's all about speed. We've got to get across the finish line to win a prize, so we might as well get there first, right?
Typical rainbow me dash.
I was kind of thinking of something a little more modern and less rickety. With maybe a chance of winning.
Bless my hooves, I thought we covered this. Tradition is all that counts, and who knows tradition better than apples? No, Pony, that's who. So, are you an apple, or are you an apple?
Oh my god, this is an absolute travesty! Applejack would never treat her sister like this. Maybe her overprotective sibling bit in Some Pony to Watch Over Me was out of character, but it was nothing compared to this tragedy of a character shift.
Well, it doesn't have to be yellow, but I really do love the old-timey style, like this. Sweetie Belle, precious face, old-timey is just another word for passé. Remember, big and bold. I do have a reputation to uphold.
Hold it! Did Rarity just say what I think she said?
I do have a reputation to uphold.
I've got a reputation to maintain.
Rarity just used a dashism! That's it. It's over. This is the worst Season 6 episode ever. This cesspool of misery just beat No Second Prances by a country mile. And guess what? We're only halfway through it. So, their use of reason being ineffective, the Crusaders take matters into their own hooves and change the carts to the way they want it. Denied, denied, denied.
Poke and kick!
Again, this will all be important to remember for later, trust me. And the Crusaders gather together for a bout of self-pity. Now, it is at this point where, if I were writing the episode, I would have had the Crusaders rotate partners and carts at the last minute to teach the older ponies a lesson. Have Apple Bloom jump in with Rainbow Dash, Scootaloo in with Rarity, and Sweetie Belle in with Applejack. That way the fillies get the types of carts they wanted, and the mares realize what they were doing was wrong beforehand, without any harm having been done. Or I would just use the old Fall Weather Friends fallback and make them lose their respective categories as payback. But again, these three are the dumbest foals known to pony kind, so they just go along with it. Maturity? Destinies? Cutie marks? Bullshit! They're still three stupid kids! Now the mares have the carts finished and are driving them, even though the kids are the ones who are supposed to be driving. Just when you think this episode could sink no lower, it spits in your face, kicks you in the nuts, and kills your dog. At this point, there is absolutely nothing redeemable about this episode. Oh my god, a cheerleader outfit! Wow. Not bad at all. I mean, I know cheer is a part of her name, but damn. Starting to get a little hot for teacher. But she instantly kills the high. Older ponies are driving, younger ones aren't even on board yet, and what does Cheerily do? As usual. As the race begins, the racers all shut up and drive. And at least we get a catchy song. It doesn't save the whole episode by a long shot, but every sunburn needs a little bit of lotion, right?
Check me out, racing the derby. Check out my old-fashioned cart. Check me out, racing the derby in my original work of art.
Check me out, faster than ever. There's no pony can catch me now. Let me out, I'd do it over if I only knew how. Giddy up, derby racers. Giddy up, derby racers. Giddy up, derby racers. Go, go, go.
I'm not talking about Mario Kart, let it go!
What
Yeah, it was inevitable. But hey, look at it this way.
Where else besides auto racing am I going to see a 23-car collision and not be in the son of a bitch?
Every cart is ruined. AJ, Dash, and Rarity are upset that their carts were destroyed. And at long last, the Crusaders let them have it.
They're not your cars! Huh?
I think the most painful part of this is that it didn't happen 7 minutes ago.
Yes, well, I suppose we might have gotten a teensy bit carried away.
Brilliant deduction, Rarity. 7 carts and a twisted pile of smoking ruin, and now you realize you got a bit carried away. Now remember what I said before about the Crusaders' blatantly, staggeringly, criminally obvious attempts to reason with their elders being important for later on? Here's where it comes into play.
Well, why didn't you say anything?
What? 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 You f***ing selfish, f***ing stupid bitches! How could you f***ing not f***ing hear them say what they f***ing wanted? They were f***ing whining at you the whole f***ing episode and you didn't f***ing listen, you f***ing selfish idiot! Sorry. Lost my composure. But really, can you blame me? How dare they ask such an asinine, brain-dead question? It's like all 3 of them were stoned out of their minds throughout the entire episode and don't remember a damn word of what anyone else said. Ignorance is one thing, and even stupidity is one thing, but this is absolutely inexcusable. None of these 3 have any right to say they never heard what these 3 girls wanted. No right at all. Period.
It's hard to speak up to older ponies.
But you did, though. Repeatedly. Stridently. Obviously. You're only at fault for not doing anything about it.
Oh, I certainly understand that. But you mustn't think older ponies automatically know best.
Because they clearly don't.
And we probably could have done a better job of listening to you.
You're the poster child for that goddamn statement.
I guess we owe all 3 of you an apology.
You owe all of us an apology. I mean us. The viewers, the fans, all of us. So they decide to hold another race, and Dash, AJ, and Rarity help make better carts for the kids, and actually do it the kids' way and not their own.
Thanks, every pony. We couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, you could have. In fact, you should have. And now comes the school meeting held to discuss Rarity, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash's actions at the Derby and what the trio should do to make up for them. At least that's what a sober writer would do.
What are we supposed to do now?
I don't know, how about being banned from all school-related activities for the rest of your natural lives? Nope. They just sit on the sidelines sipping drinks like nothing ever happened. I ought to slap the piss out of all of them. Yep. At the end of the day, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack have nothing done to them for anything they did. They selfishly took all the fun out of the Derby for their loved ones, imposed their own ideals onto them while repeatedly ignoring their attempts to set them straight, and were directly responsible for the massive cart pile-up before the end of the race. And all that happened to them was that they themselves were excluded from the race. And every adult with them! Not only did they ruin the race for their own greedy goals, but they also made it so no other adult could participate. And no other adult did anything wrong! They ruined the race not just for the kids, but for the grown-ups too. You know what? Hang on. Who wrote this abomination? Ed Valentine, who wrote Flight to the Finish and Three's a Crowd. I guess if you had to write a Discord episode once, it would only get worse from there eventually. And Michael Vogel? Not that Michael Vogel! He who improved Starlight Glimmer's character in less than 2 minutes and gave us the first decent Rainbow Dash episode since Season 4? No!
You were the chosen one!
I don't even... That was the cart before the ponies, and I regret ever having destroyed my sanity with this disgusting excuse for an episode. I think most people can agree that the worst episodes of this show are the ones that could have been done infinitely better. The Mysterious Mare Duel, the Cutie Remark Part 2, Keep Calm and Flutter On, One Bad Apple, Simple Ways, and especially Tanks for the Memories come to mind. And with the exception of the last one on that list, this episode's stunning failure blows them all away. 3 of the main 6 are disturbingly and embarrassingly out of character throughout the entire episode for the sake of the plot. The CMCs show hardly any maturity and growth from previous episodes and just let things go on until the last possible second, like they usually do. No one does anything to stop what's going on, and no one does anything about it after the fact. I mean, I'm used to Rainbow Dash getting away with doing stupid shit that ends up hurting everyone involved. But Applejack and Rarity are supposed to be better than that. And even Dash should know better by now, having finally learned what punishment for selfish actions feels like. This episode felt as though it was a collection of OCs doing exactly the same stuff we saw. Rainbow Dash was a jerk to Scootaloo, Applejack practically bullied her sister into doing what she wanted, and Rarity wasn't even remotely close to her usual charitable self. To say nothing of the fact that her motivations for entering this race are so forced and so paper-thin that Sweetie Belle might as well have gone to Trixie for help. And it only kept getting worse and worse as it went on. This episode felt like getting a root canal. 22 straight minutes of ever-increasing agony. If the rest of this episode were good, I wouldn't have this much of a problem, but this episode's premise is so bland and overused, it's practically ineffectual. Character A needs help, asks Character B. Character B takes over entirely and ruins everything by not doing it Character A's way. It's a tired, weak, miserable trope, and it has no place in a show with more dignified writing like My Little Pony. And this episode made it worse with the accompanying message. If you ask for help, and they take over everything you do nothing! I enjoyed 3 minor things about it. The catchy song, the Crusaders liking things not related to their characters, and Cheerilee's sexy cheerleader outfit. That's it. And it's not nearly enough to redeem this episode. At all. So, I'll be resisting the urge to drive off a cliff and into a canyon. If you like the review, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with a new video soon. Until then, this is Lightning Sword. Stay quick, stay sharp, and thanks for watching. Alright. We deserve it after what we've just seen, so once for the road.